Hello, welcome to this presentation. I'll be doing critical analysis of the multimedia learning object that I created. I'll also be picking another video here to critically analyze. And in my analysis, I'll be using Myers principles and also cognitive load theory to do the analysis. So starting with my video or the voice thread that I created, if I can open it here, this is the learning object, you can see. The distance education, or what you call e-learning. Yes, up to there. So if we consider the Myers principles, number one, you realize that this learning object has three strengths according to the principles. The first one, it adheres to the temporal continuity principle. In this principle, it states that audio and pictures should be presented simultaneously. So the audios and pictures, and if you realize here that you'll hear the audio, and especially here you'll hear the audio and you also hear the pictures. Like for example, if this person is narrating about the learning environment, then you'll hear the audio and also the picture. And I want you to underline the word co-production means these people must work together. If you look at this diagram or this chart here, you can see the components of a learning environment, and you can see the broader picture of that. You can see. Yes, so whenever we talk of the components of the learning environment, you can see the picture or the graphics of that here. So that's what the principles say, that whenever you are talking of that, then they should come in hand. The other principle which is there too in this learning object is the spatial continuity principle, which says words and pictures should be close. For example, just on this page alone, look here. When we consider the components of a learning environment, you can see resources here and the graphic for resources. We have people here. You can see the graphics. You can see training and education. You see the graphics. You can see kind of a school there. That is that. Let's see another one where we have that. That's 341. Let's see. Yeah, let's see the same principle there. Yeah, for example here, let's see another part where that principle is allowed, is used. Here you can see that we talk of regional, that's when you consider the organizational structure of distance education. You see that when you talk of students, we write inside there, that is words and the graphics must be close to each other. You can see the students of DL, we have the students e-learning. You see it will be a different case when you just write here, then we come and write outside here teaching stuff. Maybe compare this one where we write inside, and also here where we write, we have the chart here and the writings out there. So this is what the spatial continuity principle says. The other principle which is adhered to here is the multimedia principle, and multimedia principle says a combination of words and pictures, they have more weight than if you just use words alone. Look at this page where we have the graphics and also we have the words, and maybe compare this case where we just have words there. So this is a principle which is obeyed here. So those are the three principles which are obeyed here. However, this learning object has some weaknesses here based on the principles. The first principle or the first weakness here I derive from the cognitive load theory. For example, just have a look here. Here we have graphics. You can see graphics here. We have the words and you also have narration. Together with the teaching stuff and the learning aids. So just on that part alone, you can see that you have graphics, you have words, you also have narration. So this increases the cognitive load according to what Maya says, the uh, extraneous what? Yeah, the extraneous load. So students will have time to interpret the graphics, read the words, and also listen to the narration. So this principle is highly disobeyed here, or yes. Let's have a look here again. You can hear we have the words, you have the graphics, you also have narration, a learning environment, and you can see the broader picture. Yes, so those are some of the instances where the cognitive load theory is really misused here. Even here we have the words, we also have the graphics, and we also have narration. Further subdivided. So that principle, the cognitive load theory, by use of narration, words, and graphics, this increases the cognitive load. The other one is coherence principle, and coherence principle says that we should always exclude unnecessary materials. I wanted to have a look here in this the conclusion part. If you read the summary here, all the summaries, what you have, the contents here in the summary are the very things which are in the graphics, and to make matters worse, you will hear the very things there in the narration. All those are the quality indicators, and which must be. And if you look at this pie chart here, so you hear that, you realize that the same conclusion contains the same things which are in the graphics and the same things in the narration. So we have included unnecessary materials. It would be better either to just include the conclusion only, or just to have the graphics as a summary, or we just have narration. So in this case, the coherence principle is not allowed, which says that you should only include necessary materials in that case. Yeah, that's what there. The other thing is the principle of redundancy, which says do not present words with graphics if there's narration. So just on this part, you hear that there's words, we have the words here, we have the graphics, we have narration. Narration, listen to that. You can see the course development and instructional design. So that is a principle which has been misused there. Even if you consider maybe here the same quality, then there are two levels in which you can consider quality. So that tells you how that principle has been misused there. The other one is the modality principle, and modality principle says that animation and narrations are better than animation maybe alone or just words. So animation and narration are better than that. So you can realize that some cases, for example, we use those on both sides. Just look at these parts, we just use the words on themselves, and also so we should always use animation and narration, and that has more weight than just having the words and the narration. Just compare this page, and therefore in this presentation we will know. Yeah, just compare this page where we have words and narration, and another page or another part where we have let's come to here, where we have narration and graphics. The study, or the study that aims the. So that is that. So that's what we have as far as this learning object is concerned. Let's now have a look at the video. This video, so analyze this video. Let's see.
What's the big deal about learning objectives? A learning objective or learning outcome specifies what you want your students to know or be able to do after an activity or unit.
Yes, up to that point, in this video, or in this video, which is teaching about writing learning objectives, we realize that it has three strengths, and the first one is you realize that each point in explanation is accompanied by illustrations, either using pictures, diagrams, or arrows. Just see here.
At the end of a course. That means that the things you use or do in your course, like teaching strategies, assignments, and assessments, will be driven by your objectives. So you're actually beginning with the end in mind.
Yeah, so you realize that each point being explained here will be illustrated either using diagrams, using words, using arrows, as we'll see later. So that's a very, very big plus, rather than maybe if she was just talking without any illustration. The other strength of this learning object is that it adheres to temporal contiguity principle, which says that audio and pictures are presented simultaneously. Just listen to this. We will realize that the audio and the pictures being drawn here, they come simultaneously.
You probably already have objectives for your course, but you might need to work on making them specific and measurable.
Good.
For example,
you can see that. So when she says specifics, she draws the ruler, you see the audio, the narration goes hand in hand with the pictures. The other principle which is highly there to hear is modality. That is both animation and a narration, and that's very, very common in this one.
Students will understand the principles of geometry isn't very specific, nor is it measurable. Or students will develop an appreciation for Renaissance art. That's a pretty broad goal. And how do you even begin to measure it? With a little thought, you can turn your broad goals into specific and measurable objectives.
Yeah, you can see the use of arrows there. However, this learning object has got a lot of weaknesses here. The first one is too much cognitive load. Is here. Just look here. We have narration, we have the graphics, we have the words. So this gives it much cognitive load.
Find and calculate 3 measures.
Yeah, just even here we have the graphics, we have the words, we have also narration
of central tendency.
So this gives it more cognitive load because the students will have to interpret the graphics, will have to listen to the narration, you'll have to read the words. So this increases the cognitive load. The other principle which is lacking here is the multimedia principle. And as you said, the multimedia principle says combination of words and pictures are more powerful than words on themselves. So sometimes you realize that she uses just words on themselves without pictures.
With 100% accuracy.
Without pictures, let's see. Yeah.
Grammar and terminology. For a math class, you could write this measurable learning objective. After accuracy.
Yeah. So you can see writing just words without pictures. That is there. The other principle which is lacking here is the redundancy principle. And the redundancy principle where we should not present words, graphics, and narration at the same time. And just listen to this. You will hear that she's narrating, drawing graphics or pictures, and also writing words.
Objectives can also be used to describe how-to tasks. For example, given a multi-line telephone handset.
Yeah, you can see we have the graphic, the telephone, you have the narration, you have the words. So that principle is highly misused there. The other principle which is lacking here is the coherence principle, where we should always exclude unnecessary materials because they increases the cognitive load. Just maybe somewhere here, if I can just take you maybe a part where she ought to have taken out just here. Look at this.
Form or what they need to do first.
Yeah, so it seems she's asking a question. So instead of narrating the same thing, you write the words there. Where do I start? You see, where do I start? You narrate and you put a question mark. Then it will be good to either omit the graphic and have the word, so that at least you reduce the cognitive load there. So those are some of the the weaknesses of this learning model. And up to there, I hope you have enjoyed, and welcome to this presentation. In case of any question or any issue, please do not hesitate to ask. Thank you very much.